Welcome to the team call, everyone. It is August 10th. And for those of you that were so bummed I did not get the penny call recorded last week, so sorry about that. So that must be a new Zoom thing. When you share your screen and someone else takes over presenting, the recording stops. But so gracious to David for sending the recordings along, and you guys have everything you need. Just follow those recordings. There's live webinars every single week. All right, so that's all updated and ready for you in the Team Synergy page. And tonight, I've got my son with me, and we're going to do a whole little training for you to help you be very, very excited and fired up about the new incentive that was just launched today. But before we get started with that, we want to celebrate two people who had amazing weeks last week. And the first one is rather new, and I didn't see if she's on here. Did you, Tyler? Mm-hmm. That is Miranda Gibbs. I'm looking for her right now to see if she's on, and I'm not seeing her. Hopefully she will pop on. But Miranda had her first, she was hit her 5-cycle bonus for the second time. So for those of you that know how all the bonuses work, she earned $250 for that. She had 7 cycles, and she's new, you guys. So you know how long it takes to get up to 7 cycles sometimes. She's brand spanking new in doing this. So she's showing everybody what's possible. And then she had $375 in PIBs, which doubled. So then with her 7 cycles in her ghost PIBs, we think she might have hit 1 star. She did hit 1 star. So if she gets that bonus as well, she's looking at, did we say over $1,750 in a week? And this girl is new, you guys. So I am just so fired up for her. So give her some love and congratulations in the chat. So if she is hopping on late here, she sees that we all celebrated her and how excited we all are for her. And then I'm going to let Tyler do the next one.
Michael Miller driving his car. If you got a minute, you can talk with us, Michael. But those of you guys that haven't met Michael yet or heard his story, I'll briefly give you the overview again. But Michael is from Pennsylvania, and he's a distant relative of Cody Thompson. And he started with Isogenics in like November, started falling in love with it, and really wanted to be a part of the community and really chase this thing and go big. And in March, I believe it was, or maybe April, he moved down to Florida and didn't know anybody except Cody really and Zoe and I. And last week, Zoe and I are up here in Michigan. Cody, his roommate and his business partner, is in Tennessee somewhere. And Michael's all by himself in his apartment in Tampa. And he figured, hey, maybe I'll mess around and do something. And he did a very similar week to Miranda. He was able to help 2 or 3 people get started, hit his 5-cycle bonus, and hit 1 star. So everything comes through on that same kind of deal. He also promoted 2 new consultants, helped 2 new people get paid last week. So you put all that together, it's about the same, about $1,700 for someone, young guy with no experience in this previously, who's just been working his butt off and being really coachable, and decided to take last week and really focus when he had nobody there with him. He was just literally on his own, just on the phones all week. So congrats, Michael. We're fired up for you, man. Congrats on 5-cycle bonus and 1 star. If you have any words of wisdom for us, share them now, man. I know you're driving.
Yeah, you're on my Bluetooth, so can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, just a couple of things. I mean, I think that we get so caught up in focusing on the how-to, the actions, the results, And for me personally, to be able to do this, I had to go back and really work on my belief. My belief in Isogenics, my belief in the industry, and my belief in myself, and a lot of the limiting beliefs I had to get rid of. I work on it every day. It's not something that I just worked on and it's done, but really focusing on the belief, because it's all laid out for us on the how-to. I mean, we literally have an app that tells us who to talk to. Like, the how-to is there. We just got to work on our belief in ourselves and just keep building that, and I think it'll happen for anybody.
Awesome. And I'll tell you firsthand, like, that's exactly what Michael does every day. He has sticky notes all over the house, like, I am a 1-star crystal executive. I am a 1-star crystal executive. And then last night he sends a video of him taking a lot of those off the wall because he achieved it. And we make fun of him. I call him, who's seen Shrek before? You guys have seen Shrek? Either you watched as a kid or maybe you have kids that did. in Shrek, the character Donkey, Donkey's always talking to himself. I call Michael Donkey because he's always talking to himself. Donkey runs around. He's like, Shrek, what we gonna do next, man? And Michael's like the same thing. He's like, all right, 1 star, what we gonna do next? He's like always talking to himself, but he's speaking belief over himself. Like, all right, 2 stars next. That's what he's saying to himself, and he does it because he believes it, and he works on himself every day, and he reads the books, and he listens to the podcast, and he never misses a team call. And just super, super, super proud of him, and I want everybody to know that that's what's possible for you too. And that kind of segues right into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is this new incentive, which again, how-to wise is laid out for us. And if you want to go for it, it's going to come down to, can you believe you do it? And do you want to make it happen? And, this isn't for everybody. You might maybe not want to go for this, but if you decide to go for this at the end of this call in 20 minutes, you're going to know exactly what you need to do. And you're just going to have to go make it happen and believe that it's possible. All right. So the incentive that just came out recently is starting today, correct?
Yes.
Starting today from now until 14 days. So we have 2 weeks to do this, the 23rd of August. If you help 5 new people enroll with Isogenics on 100 BV or more, you get an additional $200 bonus. So between today, August 10th, and August 23rd, 5 new customers at 100 BV or more, an additional $200 bonus. And why that's so exciting is because I'll show you an example here in a second of what's possible, but $200 is great, but imagine what's possible with everything else that comes along. That's on top of PIBs. That's on top of double PIBs. That's on top of rank advancement bonuses. That's on top of cycles. So Michael is a perfect example. Last 2 weeks, last week he earned almost $1,700 or maybe even a little bit over that. And the previous week, Michael, I think you enrolled 2 value packs, right? So Michael basically already did this the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we didn't have this incentive going on, but with everything included, Michael just earned over $2,000 in the last 2 weeks. Imagine doing that and getting this extra $200 bonus. That's what's possible. So here's a hypothetical situation for you. And I want you to imagine that, again, 20 minutes from now at the end of the call, you're going to decide to go make this happen. So first off, let's start with, in the chat, let me know. Let's just say if you're half as successful as Michael. Let's say you could go out and you could earn $1,000 in the next 2 weeks with Isogenics part-time with a few hours of work here and there, just $1,000. In the chat, I want you guys to let me know, what would you do with an extra $1,000 right now? What could that go to? Would it be something that would bring you some joy and experience, something for your kids, a bill to pay? What could you do with an extra $1,000 in the next 2 weeks? Let me know in the chat. Let's see where we're at. Cody. Tithe, car payment, build my barn, family vacay. Yeah, I could pay for a vacation. I mean, really, that could pay for 4 nights in a hotel somewhere, maybe even more, depending on where you're going. BIA fund. Who needs more BIA? Car payment, bills. We could get a couch. Cody and Michael are living in a house. They have no couch. They're focused, man. Pay our mortgage. Yeah, that's a mortgage payment or 2 mortgage payments maybe. Buy a generator. Pay off debt. New running shoes. College fund. It goes on and on. Lululemon makeover. Amazing. So whatever you just wrote in the chat, student loans, a boat. That's a cheap boat, Randy. Hopefully it doesn't have any holes in it. Maybe the down payment for a boat, huh? So whatever that is for you, whatever it is that you might be able to do with that 1,000 in the next 2 weeks, I want you to think about that and close your eyes and visualize that as something that you could achieve, because with this incentive right here, if you make this happen, that could absolutely be you. So let's take Terry wants a hockey payment. So I'm assuming that's a child, Terry, for a hockey payment. So Terry wants to make that happen. Hockey season's coming up, so she's gonna start thinking about how that's possible, and she's gonna really attach that emotion with it, like what's gonna be possible. She can make that hockey payment now, not have to stress about it. Give her kid what's wanted and make it happen. And she's gonna think about that. And she's going to decide to go for it here at 8:30 tonight. She's going to say, all right, I got 13 days to do this. I'm going to go do it. Imagine this. Terry does the work. She gets into action. And maybe this week she enrolls 2 value packs, right? 2 value packs. So a value pack pays $100 PIB. But if she does 2 in the same week, what happens? We double them, right? So instead of 2 value packs for $200, what do we got? We double it, $400. So $400 this week Terry could make. But Terry's been consistent for a while. She's got some banked up volume. She'll probably cycle once or twice through that as well, because a value pack is worth 300 BV, which if you understand how cycles work, that could be another $54 to $108 right there. So let's just say, hypothetically, Terry enrolls 2 value packs this week and makes an extra $500 this week. $500 this week, all right? And then next week, let's say hypothetically she goes out and she does the same thing, except she gets a third person started this week, which is what Michael pretty much did these last 2 weeks. 5 value packs in 2 weeks. Let's say she does it again, 3. So $300, 3 times 100 for 3 value packs, but it doubles. So now we're at 600. We're probably looking at another 2 or 3 cycles, 700. And we're looking at that $200 bonus. So now we're at a total of like $1,500 in 2 weeks. Just in the PIBs and the cycles. And now it's extra bonus, like $1,500 in 2 weeks. But it doesn't stop there, because what happens often, especially if you're someone that's new, is if you have a week like that and you really do the work and you earn it, there's all these rank advancement bonuses, which is why Miranda and Michael had the weeks that they did. The 5-cycle bonus, the 1-star bonus. Those are things that you're probably going to hit right along the way. And that's what's the genius of the compensation plan is you don't need to understand how 5-cycle bonus works and 1-star works. You don't even need to understand how this incentive works or any of it. But if you help 5 new people get started in the next 2 weeks, hypothetically, let's say they all do value packs and you would hit the 5-cycle bonus, that you're looking at over $2,000 in 2 weeks. That's a double. So Terry could pay the hockey payment and she could go on a long weekend vacation in a hotel. But that might sound, some of you guys might be like, geez, value packs, that's way out of my league. I don't know about value packs. I don't know if I could talk to 5 people in a week. Let's say you're even 25% as successful as Terry was in that situation. That's still an extra $500. And this incentive is so geniusly laid out. It's called the 2.0 kickoff incentive, because we have all this new excitement, new countries, new products, new things to talk about, new videos to share with people. And you can use that excitement to really kick off this new season, this new era, and go earn that $500, that $1,000, that $2,000. Or maybe for you, it's not even about the incentive. Maybe the incentive is just a little milestone for you to say, hey, I helped 5 new people start their health journey these 2 weeks. And the money's insignificant. Maybe you don't even know what to type in the chat. That's okay. Just put it in your savings account or give it to charity, but you help 5 new people in the next 2 weeks. So that's what's possible in a hypothetical situation. And it could be totally transformational. That kind of week, and Michael will tell you this, that's the second week like this Michael's had. He also hit Crystal Director with a week like this previously. And he'll tell you firsthand, a week like that, the money's great, helping people is great, but your self-confidence goes through the roof because you set a goal for yourself tonight at 8:30, 17 minutes away now. And you said, I'm going to go for this. And you actually achieved it. Amazing what's possible, right? But why most of us won't actually truly set the goal. We'll say, yeah, it'd be nice if it happens, but we don't actually set it is because we're afraid of the opposite happening, right? We're afraid of, well, what if I don't make it? What if I don't make it? Well, what if you don't? Oh, well, we're right where we are now, right? You know worse off than you are now. So the fear of failure for setting a goal like this can be something that holds you back. But why? I think every single person on this call is capable of helping 5 new customers get started in the next 2 weeks. And if it's not a goal for you, that's okay. But don't let that fear of falling short hold you back. What if you fall short and you only get 3? Well, you helped 3 new people start their journey. You made an extra couple $100. You made some progress. But typically, when you set your sights high, when it's with an incentive like this, it does so much more than whether you make it or not. I mean, I've failed 75% of the goals I've set in this business. I failed. I set a goal for Crystal Executive like 6 times, and on the 6th time, I finally hit it. But every time I set it, it forced me to take a little bit more action. It forced me to learn some new things, and I was able, you learn so much more through the failure anyway. So it's really a win-win. You either achieve this, you set this goal at 8:30 tonight, and you say, I'm going to do this, 5 new customers in 2 weeks, and you achieve it, and it's amazing, and you feel great, and your self-confidence is through the roof, and you have all this extra cash on hand for your car payment and all these things, or you fall a little bit short, but you worked harder than you have in the last 2 weeks, you helped some new people, you learned something about yourself, and you made some progress that maybe you otherwise wouldn't have made, right? So I think it's a great time right now for all of us to really take that next step. And to end here on what I have, let's talk a little bit about how we can actually go about doing it, right? So if you are one of those people, so let me know in the chat, maybe say I'm in, or who's thinking maybe this is for you. And it doesn't have to be everybody. Don't feel any pressure to do it. But if you think it is for you and you do want to go for it and you do want to set the goal, let's see it in the chat. All in, let's do it. Definitely, I'm in, game on. Already started, amazing. Who already has one in this week? Who's already made some progress? Anybody?
Miranda has 2 already.
Miranda already has 2. She's already making progress. I haven't checked my Isopulse today. I'm sure we got some people already making progress, which is amazing. Awesome, guys. Looks like we got a lot of people in. Amazing, amazing. So let's talk about how we can go about doing it, all right? Because it's really that simple. What did Michael say? What was the phrase he used? He said, The how-to's easy. That we have an app that tells us who to talk to. We do. And if you're new and you don't know what the app is yet, we can talk to you about that. But here's how simple this is. In my experience, number one, for those of you that have been doing this for any length of time, more than a few months, you've probably got a follow-up list, right? You probably got some people you talked to that maybe said, no, not right now. Or maybe if you're doing it for a long time, you had some people that enrolled 4 years ago and they haven't ordered products in 4 years. Or maybe you had some people that were this close and then they just fell off the face of the earth. You never heard from them again right before they got started. That's a great place to start for an incentive like this. The best enrolling weeks and months I've had, the majority of the enrollments have actually come from people I've already talked to. So that's a great place to start if that's you. Make a list of those people. Jot down yourself a little hot list. People that already know what Isagenix is. They've already seen some information. You've already talked to them. Maybe you already know what that goal or that pain point is that they have. Jot that down. That's a great place to start. And some simple verbiage on how to start a conversation like that is something like this. And listen to more so how I'm saying it than what I'm actually saying. You can make it your own, but something like, hey, Brenda, I know we talked a few months back about, getting you on this nutrition system. I don't know if timing's any better for you or not right now, but would you be open to take another look at this? We got some really exciting stuff coming out right now, right? Hey, we got some new exciting stuff coming out. Things have changed because they have, right? We got a new logo. We got new products. We acquired a new company with a bunch of new products. So, hey, Brenda, I know we talked 5 or 6 months ago about those health goals. I'm sure things have changed for you. A lot has changed for us. We got some exciting things going on, but would you be open to revisiting this? Would you be open to having a chat again? Would you be open to checking out one of these new videos we got? And don't get ahead of yourself. And that's a big thing. We don't need to go from, no, I'm not interested, I'm buying. Let's just take the next step. Yeah, I'm interested in taking another look. I'm interested in learning a little bit more because maybe they'll see something with this new product catalog, these new videos that will excite them like they weren't excited before. And most likely it's just timing, right? Maybe they had an unexpected bill or something happened in their personal life, or they just weren't in the buying mood 6 months ago, or they just weren't in the healthy living mood 6 months ago. And you might, catch them at the right time now. So I would make a short list of those people, for those of you that have been around for a while, and go back to them and say, hey, I know it's been a while since we talked about XYZ goal. I'm sure things have changed for you. A lot has changed for us. But would you be open to revisiting this? All right. So that's one great place to start. Secondly, for once you've got that done, and for those of you that are newer, maybe don't have any follow-up list, we know that this is simply a matter of odds, right? It's simply a matter of statistics. And that's why we follow up, because if we talk to 10 people today, maybe only 1 or 2 of those people is going to be ready to get started today. And that's okay. And maybe 6 months from now, 2 more of those 10 people will be ready. But we know that if we talk to 10 or so people, we can usually get, 1 or 2 started. We know that, right? We've experienced that. I've experienced that. Mom has similar. If you guys have been to University in Action, it's brilliant. Who's been to University in Action with David Wood? I know probably a lot of you guys, right? Amazing, amazing event. Can't wait till we can get back to doing those again. And I think David's going to do something this fall online since we can't. But what David does that's so genius and so brilliant at these events is he's got a room full of 1,000 people. And you got some people, when he asks, who's your first event? Usually half the room stands up. There's like 500 people there. It's their very first event. But then he'll ask, who here is a 6-figure income earner? And then he'll have, maybe 50 people stand up. And he'll say, who here is a 7-figure income earner? And it might have 1 or 2 or 3 people stand up. And what he'll do is for the 500 new people and maybe the others there, he'll pick out one of these 6 or 7-figure income earners and he'll say, all right, Cindy, tell me your numbers. And mom will say, I've talked to 5,000 people in the last 8 years, and I've enrolled 400 people. And of those 400 people, 5 of those do the business. And with those numbers of 5,000 conversations and 400 enrollments and 5 people that do the business, my biggest month has been $90,000. And he does this exercise over and over and over again with all the people in the room that are wildly successful. And what's crazy is whether the biggest month is 90,000 or the biggest month is 10,000, the ratio is always the same. It's always like 5,000 conversations, 500 enrollments, $50,000 in a month, or 1,000 conversations, 100 enrollments, $5,000 is my biggest month. It's always a ratio of about 10% of the people that they talk to got started with Isagenix. So once you've gone through that little hot list of people you've already talked to, or maybe if you're brand new, make a list of people you want to go talk to and just do some simple math here. So if we want to enroll 5 people and we get about, let's say we're doing really well. Let's say we get 2 out of 10 people to join us. How many do we need to talk to if we're going to get 5 people started? Who's good at math? We're getting 2 out of 10, and we want to help 5 people get started in the next 2 weeks. Somebody guess in the chat. Who's got some good math? Randy's thinking. I see his wheels turning. 25, John Stank. Oh, math major, of course. Yeah, of course. 25 conversations, right? 25, which might sound really overwhelming for some of you, especially if you're brand new. 25 people, that can be a lot of work, especially if you got family responsibilities and a job and things going on. But I want you to think of this. Go back to what you could do with that $1,000 in the next 2 weeks, right? Car payment, loan payment, mortgage payment, family vacay, hockey payment. Go back to that and say, okay, am I willing to work a little bit harder for the next 2 weeks than I have before? Am I willing to take that next step in the next 2 weeks to make that possible? And do I have 25 people that could benefit from Isogenics? There's 7 billion people in the world. There's 400 million in the US, and 80% of Americans are overweight. 2/3 of Americans say they're unsatisfied with their current job. 50% of divorces could be prevented with an extra $500 a month. There's all these statistics, which basically mean a lot of people need Isogenics, right? A lot of people need Isogenics. And there's a good chance you might know 25 of them, right? You might. Even if you're a hermit, even if you haven't left since COVID started, you've never left your house, and you haven't even figured out Zoom yet until tonight, you haven't talked to anybody, you haven't FaceTimed anybody, even if that's you, there's probably 25 people that could benefit from some better nutrition, maybe losing a few pounds, more energy, an extra couple $100, right? Especially right now. So make a list of 25 that you're committed to talking to. That's it. Just 25 names that you're committed to talking to in the next 2 weeks. And it can be as simple as something like I said before. Hey, I don't know if you know what I do or not, but I'm working with this exciting nutrition company right now. We got some really cool things coming on this fall. Would you be open to learning about it? Hey, I don't know if you've seen my results. I've lost 20 pounds in the last 6 months. Really cool stuff. Would love to run it by you. Would you be open to checking it out? Hey, I know you mentioned when you saw me last that I looked really youthful and energetic. I'll tell you what, I got this program that's working really well. I think you might like it. Would you be open to taking a look at it? Simple messages like this, 25 of them, which can sound really overwhelming, but if you have 14 days, that's less than 2 a day. Could you send two text messages a day for the next 14 days? 2 text messages a day for the next 14 days. And if they say yes, you follow up with a quick video from the checkout. Get them on a phone call with someone who knows more than you do. If you're not confident in doing it yourself, that's okay. I still get people on the phone with my mom, and she'll do the same. We use each other, we help each other, right? But if you could use the next 14 days and send 2 messages a day, are you open to checking this out? Send a few videos, do a few phone calls. There's a really, really, really good chance that you might achieve this incentive and have that extra $1,000 to put towards whatever it is you want to. Or worst case scenario, maybe it's all basic packs, or it's all 100 BV orders, only $500. That'd still be pretty nice. And worst case scenario, you say you're going to do this. You talk to 2 people every day for the next 14 days, and you only enroll 1 or 2, or maybe you enroll 0. Well, guess what? You've just introduced 25 new people to what you have to offer. And we know almost everyone on this call probably did not enroll the first time you heard about Isogenics, right? It took you a few times. So the worst case scenario is you go through all this, you don't hit the incentive, you don't reach your goal, but now you have 25 new people on your follow-up list who are probably going to enroll sometime during the next 1 to 12 months, right? So there's really, it's a win-win situation. You either achieve this goal or you fall short, you learn a lot, and your follow-up list grows, all right? So who's in for that? Cool, let's do it.
Awesome.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I do. All right, and the last thing I want to say before we close out for the night, thank you, that was awesome, is don't forget, this is a great 2 weeks for you to build consultants. So I know a lot of you want to get to that paid as executive level so that you can give yourself a $10,000 a year raise, so that you can get $750 guaranteed coming in every single month on top of your product introductory bonuses, your double PIBs, your rank advancement bonuses, your cycles, and all of that. There's a lot of you that really want to be executive. And that's where you really start to see the great income coming in, is by being paid as. And also you get company referrals, you get the retail orders, and you get enrollments. So think about this and make sure, if you have team members that were on this call tonight, and didn't hear this, when I post the recording in our business page, tag them. Make sure they hear this message too. Get on the phone with your people and make sure they're all going for this too, because the best thing you can do to grow your business is to get your people eating for free. So if you help a couple people do the same thing that you're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks, think about what that's going to add to your team. You're going to have a lot of happy customers that are now getting their products paid for. They're going to earn some extra money. And this is the duplication you want to see in your business. So take everything that Tyler shared tonight. I hope all of you guys are going for this. I really do. And I know it's so possible. When I saw enrollments coming in already this morning, I'm like, all right, they're 1 down, 4 to go, 2 down, 3 to go. So I know so many of you guys are really capable of doing this, but you've got to do the work. And I wouldn't go so far as spacing it out 2 a day. I would go heavy, front load your messages. So what Tyler was saying, bare minimum do 2 a day, but front load that. Get all those messages out now so that you can have lots of follow-ups. You can get 3-ways planned, get your sponsor involved, get on a 3-way, do a Zoom meeting, and you can get a lot more conversations had. So if it doesn't, if maybe you need to have more, some of us have higher ratios. Some of us have to talk to more people. Some of us can do it in talking to less people. Some of you have hot prospects to follow up with. Some of you have enrolled most of your hot prospects. So you're, kind of feeling like, I really want this, but it might be a little harder for you. So start now, and then hopefully you'll get this wrapped up a little early, and then we can all celebrate together. But don't forget, this is a fabulous time to create consultants as well. So make sure your people know that what the money that's on the table for them too. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm going to go through the whole chat and really read these and look at your goals and all of that. Again, congratulations to Michael Miller and Miranda. We are so proud of you guys, and just can't wait to see what's next for you, and hope to see lots of you earning this extra bonus money and hopefully having some really great rank advancements over the next 2 weeks as well. So thanks, guys. Have a great night, everyone.